Welcome back to ACB Wrestling Talk, your main source for wrestling news and wrestling discussions. I'm, of course, your host, Alexis Carrillo, and let's get into some wrestling talk. Now, last night we got a little bit of the aftermath of what happened at Full Gear for All Elite Wrestling, and we got quite a little interaction between the leader of Inner Circle and the man who betrayed the challenger for the AEW World Champion, Chris Jericho. Of course, I'm talking about Maxwell Jacob Friedman and Y2J, who really had many things to say, specifically about Chris Jericho thinking that MJF wanted to join the Inner Circle, and MJF responding with the fact that Y2J wanted him in the Inner Circle. Of course, teasing the fact that MJF could join the apparently now top stable in AEW. Not only that, MJF also explained his reasons as to why he betrayed Cody, pretty much stating that Cody only cares about himself. He only cares about number one, and to Cody, that is himself, which is why MJF put him down. They shared a hug. They were a part of another memorable in-ring promo by Y2J, even plugging Juventud Guerrera in there, which the crowd enjoyed and rejoiced after MJF, just responded with, "Who the hell is Juvi?" Enjoyed that segment pretty damn well, but guess what? Even though he's not cleared to be in-ring action for the next 3 to 4 weeks, Cody came out and, to confront both Y2J and MJF, and, pretty much not following doctor's orders, he went in for the attack, started beating the crap out of Y2J and MJF, only for this Wardlow superstar to come out and take Cody down. You have a 3-on-1 beatdown before the officials had to come out and pretty much stop them from going any further, from injuring what is essentially, a businessman for AEW, a very important businessman behind the scenes for AEW. Number one, honestly, I do not know who Wardlow is. He is big. He's got the physique that translates into intimidation. It translates into a bodyguard. That's for certain. The real question we have to ask ourselves right now is Wardlow in the Inner Circle? Is MJF in the Inner Circle? Will they be joining the Inner Circle anytime soon? That's the real question. And what exactly can we expect from Cody in the future? Because, like I said, he's not cleared to be in-ring action yet. So he needs to either calm down, or he could put his career, pretty much on hold for more and more months if he doesn't take care of himself. Speaking of superstars I do not know, and again, I apologize, we saw the return of Luchasaurus. A recent news piece came out about the fact that WWE told Luchasaurus to find another craft, to find another career, because he would not be good enough to be a professional wrestler, not at least, at the top of the professional wrestling game. That's what WWE told him, according to Luchasaurus. That's pretty much the extent I know about Luchasaurus. Again, I apologize. I am trying to get familiar with every single wrestler on the roster. I know more than others. So just wanted to point that out. Luchasaurus made his return on Dynamite. And we also got, SCU retained their tag titles by pinning Jericho and Guevara in that team. And again, I've made it very clear on my Impact recaps that I don't like Sami Callihan being pinned, because he is the Impact World Champion, because he deserves more respect. In this case, I believe it was Scorpio Sky who pinned Chris Jericho last night. There's a bit of a difference. Chris Jericho has had quite a few months with the AEW World title. He's had quite a few title defenses with the AEW World title. You know, the Inner Circle isn't booked to be this blubbering bunch of idiots who can't win a match in the 20 by 20 ring. That's not how they're booked. So, you know, when this surprising stat comes to mind, Jericho being pinned by Scorpio Sky in a tag team title match, it's not as shocking to me. It's not as overwhelming to me. It doesn't get my blood flowing in the same way as it does with Sami Callihan. Just wanted to put that out there. And finally, you know, we had Jon Moxley come out. He faced off against Michael Nakazawa. He beat him in the squash with a DDT. And then he proclaims he's going to run through the entire roster. And he's going to pretty much demolish anyone who gets in his way. Which, you know, after what we saw at Full Gear, is a pretty big message. You know, do not mess with Jon Moxley. Do not get in his way. Because he is capable of going to the extreme. He is capable of resorting to extreme violence to not only win the match, but also get what he wants. Apparently, Darby Allin wasn't listening. Apparently, or maybe he just doesn't care. Because after he won his triple threat match, he swiftly accepted Jon Moxley's challenge. And I assume we're going to see Jon Moxley versus Darby Allin next week on Dynamite on TNT. So, good luck to Darby Allin. And possibly good luck to Jon Moxley as well, because Darby Allin seems to be one crazy SOB. And we also got a in-ramp segment with the Tony Schiavone and Ali. You know, nothing really much to state there other than the fact that Ali has been wrestling on AEW Dark and thinks that she deserves more time on Dynamite. Well, apparently, Awesome Kong and Brandy Rhodes disagree because they came out, they laid her out, and just like they did at the pay-per-view or before the pay-per-view, Awesome Kong took a lock of Ali's hair. So now we've got a consistent character trait to apply to Awesome Kong. The real question is, when is she gonna target the AEW Women's World Champion Rio? And when are we gonna see them interact? Do you have any predictions? Do you have any comments? And do you have any thoughts on when exactly this should happen? Leave your thoughts, comments, and predictions on the comment section below. And now we go to the other side of the spectrum, the other side of the Wednesday Night Wars, because NXT opened up with what JR would call a slobber knocker of a match for the Cruiserweight title. We had, of course, the man of the hour, Lio Rush, defending his Cruiserweight Championship against the Mexican sensation, the luchador that does not wear a mask and that actually takes off his pants. I'm talking, of course, about Angel Garza in a match that went back and forth. It was high-flying. It was everything that the Cruiserweights wanted it to be. Everything that Cruiserweight fans wanted it to be. And honestly, it's no surprise to me because Angel Garza is someone who I watched and play and paid close attention to when he was a part of Impact Wrestling. So him being a part of NXT right now and him getting some in-ring time, you know, that's great. That's great. You know, he obviously needs to develop more his character. But right now, for the pure intention of actually opening the show with a match that, you know, it can't miss, Lio Rush over Angel Garza is just that. We also got Riddle versus Balor made official at TakeOver War Games. Now, Johnny Gargano won't be able to make it to TakeOver War Games. He's injured. Of course, Balor versus Gargano was planned for Survivor Series weekend. That's not going to happen. And now Riddle came out and attacked Balor on this week's episode of NXT, making this match official, which again was a head scratcher because Riddle was already poised to be a part of Team Ciampa against the Undisputed Era at War Games in the War Games match. Well, apparently Dominik Dijakovic, if I'm butchering your name, sorry about that. Dominik Dijakovic is going to be replacing Matt Riddle in the War Games match. So, you know, he's not as big of a name as Matt Riddle, but Dijakovic is on the upswing. He is getting more and more time, and he is getting a little bit more famous for being someone who you just can't put down. So, looking forward to that. And then we got the main event. Io Shirai defeated Mia Yim in the ladder match for War Games advantage, meaning that the team of Shayna Baszler, Io Shirai, and Bianca Belair, and one mystery partner are going to be having the advantage going into the War Games match. They're going to be having the 2-on-1 women advantage, 3-on-2, 4-on-3 women advantage for the War Games match. But that was not the headline, because SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley made quite a statement this week on NXT when she came out of nowhere and attacked the NXT Women's Champion Shayna Baszler, pretty much stating that she won't be overlooked, as she has been ever since it was announced that it was going to be Raw versus SmackDown versus NXT at Survivor Series. Clearly, Bayley has had to make a bigger statement out of all of them, because Shayna has had to resort to that. Shayna and Becky have had to resort to those backstage promos, whereas Bayley, you know, if she didn't attack anyone, if she didn't attack Becky on Raw, if she didn't attack Shayna last night on NXT, then, you know, it'd be pretty clear and pretty honest to say that, you know, Bayley wouldn't be someone to look out for their triple threat match at Survivor Series. So, good on the creative team, making us take notice of Bayley, making us realize that, hey, it's a triple threat match, and Bayley has just as much of a chance of winning that triple threat match at Survivor Series as Shayna Baszler or Becky Lynch. Good move by the WWE creative team. Speaking of WWE, you know, just a week ago we discussed on this show about Jordan Miles and this entire situation in which he called out WWE for being racist, for pretty much making merchandise or designing merchandise for Jordan Miles in a way that resembled blackface. Now, as I discussed last week, I seriously doubt that anyone in WWE went into a meeting or approved anything that resembled or assumed any racist remarks. That's what I pretty much stated last week on this show. Well, apparently Jordan Miles, who is not going by Jordan Miles anymore, he's now going back to Super ACH or just ACH. Jordan Miles has quit WWE, at least through a Twitter video. This is what he had to say, and, you know, I'm not going to omit the several F-bombs that he had to say. And I quote, "As of today, I'd like to officially announce that I quit fucking WWE. I am no longer employed. I refuse to work for racists. I fucking quit. Fuck them. I hate that fucking company and everything they fucking stand for. All they ever did was hold our people back. I do this shit for the culture. I don't need anyone's fucking permission to do what I want to do. Screw Jordan Miles. Don't ever call me by that slave name. Call me ACH. And don't forget the super, bitch. I quit. Fuck you," Miles said. Again, pretty, you know, loud remark, pretty explicit remark by, I'm assuming, ACH now. He's pretty much stated he doesn't want us to call him Jordan Miles anymore. And all we have to do right now is just wait on WWE's statement. Whether, you know, I don't know if they have to grant his release or grant him, you know, quitting. really don't know how this works because ACH quit. He apparently quit WWE. So all we have to do right now is just wait for WWE's statement on this matter. But at least to me, like I said, I doubt WWE goes into any kind of a meeting for any merchandise, for any pretty much topic involving WWE business, thinking, you know, let's be racist, let's say racist remarks. I seriously doubt that. So I have to give it to WWE right now. You know, might be a slight misunderstanding with ACH. Again, it's a complete mess. It doesn't benefit anyone because WWE is getting some backstage drama and some bad press, and ACH is also getting some bad press. And who knows if ACH is going to be able to find any top-tier mainstream company that, you know, employs him in the future. Because, like I said, I honestly don't think WWE goes into business in the way that ACH has remarked in the past. So again, let's just wait and see what WWE's statement is going to be on this entire situation. You know, when one superstar who's going to be a part of many wrestling news websites to come, and who's going to be pretty much headlining these wrestling news, is the man who made his return to professional wrestling last night. I believe it was last Tuesday night. Of course, I'm talking about CM Punk. Now, reports have surfaced and have been posted online through numerous wrestling websites about CM Punk reportedly turning down a big money offer from AEW. This goes all the way back to before Dynamite even made their debut on TNT, their premiere on TNT, because, you know, back then there were reports of AEW President Tony Khan, you know, making some serious big money offers for CM Punk to return to professional wrestling, you know, have this mainstream name make a return to not only professional wrestling, but also make his debut and return to pro wrestling under the AEW banner. That would have gotten big ratings for Dynamite on TNT. That would have gotten big headlines for AEW and Dynamite on TNT. Apparently, now there are reports that Punk clearly turned down those offers because he appeared on Backstage this past Tuesday night. Now, this may mean a few things. This may mean CM Punk has no intention at all of getting back inside the squared circle, whether it be with AEW or WWE or any other company. It doesn't matter. That might just be his intention. Or it also might mean that, you know, he might want to eventually return to in-ring action, but he wants to do it with WWE, hence why he took a Fox Sports produced show where he has a Fox Sports contract for a WWE show with WWE personalities. Again, it can mean either of those things. It can mean many other things that I have yet to think about, yet to map out in my mind. If you have any idea what this might mean, leave your thoughts, comments, and predictions on a comment section below. But for now, in my opinion, I think he's just easing back into professional wrestling, and maybe 2020 might be the year we see the return of the voice of the voiceless of CM Punk in WWE. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. And with wrestling news, with wrestling websites, we get a lot of rumors and we get a lot of misinformation. We get a lot of headline news pieces. One of which is the fact that Kenny Omega isn't allowed to enter Japan anymore, ever since he left New Japan Pro Wrestling. This is made pretty clear just a few days ago when Kenny Omega pretty much made a tweet, he made a tweet in which he pretty much stated, "Somehow I've made it. See you all soon." This led many wrestling news websites to report that Kenny Omega was just not able to enter Japan anymore, or not as easily as he used to which New Japan Pro Wrestling President Harold Meij, came out and just stated that, this is his statement, "By the way, there's this unbelievable rumor going around that New Japan Pro Wrestling tried to prevent Kenny Omega from entering Japan. There's no way a company, New Japan Pro Wrestling, could do that. No reason to do that or would ever want to do that," Meij wrote. "I just thought I'd address it because I want to be clear about these things. It was a rumor spread by someone's wild speculations. Kenny Omega made a huge contribution to New Japan, and we wish him all the success in the world." Again, these are rumors, these are misinformation. Just like WWE can't authorize, any superstar not entering the country in the U.S., I believe it's the same thing, or the same thing applies in Japan. Even though New Japan Pro Wrestling is the biggest professional wrestling company in Japan, again, over there, it's just entertainment. Over there, it's just sports. They have, at least in my view, they have no authorization whatsoever in getting any person, any personality into the country. That's that. That's end of story. And end of headline. Okay? That's what I believe. From the moment I read these rumors on wrestling news websites, I refused to touch upon them because I simply did not believe that any one company could prevent any one person from entering the country, especially when that one person isn't, a thief, isn't a criminal, doesn't have a criminal record. That's pretty clear to me. I only made it a part of today's show because New Japan Pro Wrestling President Harold Meij, made a statement on that, on those rumors. So that's it. That's the end of the story. Kenny Omega, if he had any issues getting into the country, getting into Japan, it would have been external to his previous relationship and previous employment with New Japan Pro Wrestling. That's at least clear to me. And what's clear for today is that that's the end of today's Wrestling Talk episode. That's it for today. I've been Alexis Carrillo. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you dislike this video, hit the dislike button. That's it for me. See you tomorrow. Till next time.